All right, you guys. So we are officially live for the Recruiting Live Show, and I am so excited. I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. We're here, you guys. It's football season. I know a lot of you young student athletes are itching to start making plays that are looking for recruiting opportunities to get to the next level. So we didn't want to sit back and watch so many young, deserving student athletes not get the opportunities that they deserve, you guys. So I am really excited to be with you guys. We're going to get right into our content. This is going to be a live show every single Tuesday. So every single Tuesday, some of you guys might be just ending practice. Some of you guys may already be home doing homework or chilling out. But every Tuesday, you guys know that you can tune in right here to the Locker Room Show, or excuse me, the Locker Room Show is on Thursday. You can tune in to the Recruiting Live Show every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And what we're going to do, you guys, is get into the tactics, the strategies. At the end, we'll always have live Q&A. So our comment section is open. I think we'll have the great Coach Foss with us. He'll be monitoring the comment section. But if you guys are student athletes or maybe parents of student athletes and you have questions about recruiting, please do not hesitate to put them in the comment section and we'll make sure that we knock that out, you guys. So let's get into it. Once again, this is the live recruiting show that we're going to have every single Tuesday. I am your host, Coach Terrence Wood. And like the kids say, I'm always outside. You know, I'm always in the community. I'm always helping the next generation that want to do some of the things that I've done. I was fortunate enough, you guys, to play at the University of Colorado, had a pretty good career up there. After that, played in the Arena Football League and in Canada. The gentleman that you see on the left-hand side, that is my grandfather. And yes, he is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. His name is Willie Wood. Rest in peace. Great free safety back in the Vince Lombardi days. So this is what we're here for, you guys. You guys want to put on the hat to that school you're going to. You guys want to make your mama proud, your daddy proud. Some of you guys have put in so much work. And before you go pro, we want to make sure that you guys have the opportunities that you deserve. And I see the great Coach Foss saying future recruiting shows. Yes, indeed. So once again, our comment section is open and we will have live Q&A if you're joining us live. If you have any questions, please hold on to them. We'll get to them at the end. So when we're looking at why we're here, you guys, all of you guys want recruiting opportunities. At the end of the line, this Tuesday live recruiting show is for the athletes that are serious. Because not everybody's serious, you guys. You guys know as well as I do, not everybody's serious. Some people just want to put on the jersey. Some people just want to try to get a girlfriend and think maybe if they're on the football team, they can get a girlfriend. And then there's the people like you guys that are serious. Whether you're watching this recorded or you're watching this live, you put in the extra work that the other guys haven't. You've put down a little bit more of a down payment on that future than other guys haven't. So that's what this is about, is getting your name on the board, you guys. And whenever you tune into a show, a podcast, a webinar, you want to make sure whoever's helping you has the ability to get you where you want to go, or else you're wasting your time. So here's a perfect example. Very dear friend of mine who is now coaching at the Division I level. A lot of you young players want to play at the Division I level. Well, this is somebody that I talk to every single week. And he's saying that if you're passionate about getting to the next level, then Before You Go Pro is a great tool for you. Also, here is some more proof, some social proof, you guys, that we are who we say we are. So over 14 years of football success, all of the gentlemen that you see on the screen right now, these are my babies. These are young men that I've poured into, my team has poured into, and the whole goal was that they got what they wanted out of the football industry, and that's what we want to do for you guys. So when we look at recruiting, you guys, a lot of you guys went to camps, you've been to showcases, maybe you've went to junior days, and now you're a senior. It's the class of 2024. If you're younger and you're watching this, then maybe some of these things aren't as urgent for you. But these are all things that pertain to you if you want to go off and play college football. And these are things that are going to help you out. Once again, this is free game. So you can't say that nobody didn't try to help you out. Okay, this is free game. So once again, this is important because everything, you guys, is based off of a timeline. This is kind of the blessing and the curse. On one hand, it's a blessing because you know when everything is supposed to come up. You know exactly if you're dialed into this, and you can find this at ncaa.org, like you see on the bottom. You know what you need to do during a specific time. It can also be a curse a little bit because you can get off schedule. And sometimes it's hard to get back on schedule once you're off schedule. So this is why we're having these Tuesday recruiting live sessions, is because we want to keep you guys that are serious on track. Okay. So when it comes to recruiting, there's key factors, you guys, key factors. Now, with our Tuesday sessions, we'll always have some teaching involved. And then I'm going to dive into some live examples. Okay. We're going to dive into some live examples. This will be recorded. So if you want to replay it, feel free. But this is key, is that you know the factors that you're being judged by. Because what good is trying to win big in this industry if you don't even know what the gatekeepers judge you by, right? So this is what the gatekeepers are going to look at. And as far as a new athlete that joins our program, that joins Before You Go Pro, and we'll be working through one of them here shortly, these are the factors that we look at first. These aren't the only factors that we look at, but these are the ones that we look at first. First and foremost, we have to see your film. Your film, you guys, is your version of your demo copy. You know, some of you guys want to rap, some of you people want to sing, or maybe you have musicians in your family. Their demo is what gets them the job. Their mixtape is what gets them the job. So for you, it's going to be your huddle film. I can't help you get a job. I can't teach you how to get a job, a scholarship, unless you've got some huddle film. Then after that, we're going to look at your current interests, A lot of times people come to us and maybe they have a little interest. They just don't have what they want. Or sometimes young athletes come to us, their parents come to us, and they believe that there's talent, but they're not getting the exposure. So we want to know your current interest, because here's the deal. We may evaluate the film and we may evaluate you at an FCS level, but you may already have some FBS interest. So we're going to take that into an account as we work through your situation. You know, we're not going to evaluate you at an FCS level. You've already got also some FBS interest, and then start pitching you to Division II schools. You've already kind of passed that level. So we're going to look at your film eval, your huddle film, to get a gauge on what level of talent you have on the field. But then also, if you have any current interest, we have to keep that in mind too. Academic standing. Sometimes an athlete may have the athletic talent, but they don't have the academic standing to grab that scholarship that they want. Sometimes an athlete may have athletic talent to play at maybe a school that's in the Pac-12, but they don't have the academics to get into a school that's in the Pac-12. Maybe they have academics that would lend them to a state school, like a San Diego State or something like that. So we always have to keep academics in mind, and then also social synergy. And what do you mean by social synergy, Coach? What I mean by social synergy, and you guys might not have heard that term before, but I mean, is this a good fit for the young man socially? So, you know, I might have a young man that is willing to go play off at a HBCU, a historical Black university. That's a good fit for him socially. I might have another young man that's not a good fit for. I might have a young man that is a good fit for an Ivy League school. I might have another young man that may struggle at an Ivy League school. So we also want to make sure that it's a good fit academically and socially. So we'll get a sip of water here. And once again, we are live. If you guys do have recruiting questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, please feel free to put them in the comment section as we go here. Once again, this is the goal, to get your name on the board. All right. We want to get your name on the board, make mama proud, make daddy proud. So what we're going to do here, you guys, and I see one comment. Michelle, we see you. Love it. Social synergy. Yes. And we've talked about your son making sure that he's at the right school. So 100%. What good is it to get a kid to Ohio State? He's going to be back home because he can't foot it socially or academically. So that's where we're at, you guys. So when we talk about how this is all going to break down on our Tuesday recruiting live shows, we're going to have a little education. Then we're going to get through some of our own athletes. So some of the athletes we work through with, we're going to talk about their recruiting situations. I'm hoping this is kind of the first time we've done this. So I'm hoping that you guys listening will learn, whether you're listening recorded, whether you're listening live, that you guys learn from some of the athletes we're working with and how we approach their recruiting situations. Okay, you guys? So the athlete that we're going to be working with today, once again, every Tuesday, this will be a show that you guys can count on. You can count on until you get signed. You know, we're going to do this until February, regular signing period. So we're going to work through the early signing period, and then we're going to go through the regular signing period. So this is one of my babies, one of my new babies, Ron Hornbarger, and we actually call him Bubba, Big Bubba. So I always needed a Bubba part of the family, and we finally got one. So this is one of our guaranteed playing one-on-one athletes, and this is somebody who is from Nevada. So he's a West Coast kid, okay? You guys see his size, great size, obviously football player size, 6'3", 285, and then 3.2 GPA. He's doing his thing academically. I know he even wants to put a little uptick on that this year. So when we look at an athlete, you guys, we got to take the whole picture when we're talking recruiting, because some of these kids, man, you get a kid from Texas, get a kid from Florida, Cali, and they know they've got game. Their huddle film speaks for itself, but there's something missing. There's a chink in their armor. So we're trying to see where all the puzzle pieces are at and then put together the picture so we can get this young man some scholarship money. Okay. So I'm going to show you our mindset working with Bubba. And this is live. You know, he's a 2024 athlete. So this is somebody that will be signing in an upcoming recruiting class. And we're going to keep you guys up to date with how all of the athletes recruiting goes that we showcase for you. So this is Bubba, one of our real athletes with Before You Go Pro, 6'3", 285. Now, what I want to do here is let you guys see a little of Bubba's film, just so you can get a feel for his playing ability. And he's a guard playing at a high school in Nevada. Check it out. Okay, you guys. So there you can see Bubba's got some game. He's got great size. That's his junior film. Once again, this is a West Coast kid. And you can also see there's things that we look for, our team looks for when we're looking at film, you know, especially with offensive lineman, defensive lineman. He's got a little bit of a nasty disposition. He wants to finish the block, drive kids into the ground. He's physical. Those are things that kind of click a young man up maybe to that Division I level. You know, you're looking at the size. So these are all things that we take into account, you guys. For one, we're looking at the film and we're getting a feel for the film. Now, a young man may have great film, but he's out of position. I deal with a lot of young men. I know Coach Foss is with us too. We deal with a lot of young men that are making plays on film, and they're wondering why they're not being recruited. Maybe they're at a great high school too, and they're wondering why they're not being recruited, but they're playing out of position. This kid is wrecking it on the defensive line at 210, 220. He's not going to play on the defensive line in college, most likely at 210, 220. So that may be part of the reason why he's under recruited, you guys. I see some comments over here. Yes, go Bubba. And I see Chris in there. Bubba's dead. So yes. Now, those are things that we have to take into account. So now if I go back to Bubba's evaluation, we know in the film he's got the mobility, he's got the nasty disposition to play at the Division I level. That's what a coach is going to want to see. They're not going to want to teach you aggression. No major college football coach is going to want to teach you aggression. But see, then we got to go to other factors. We got to look at his size. We've got to look at his GPA. Now, size, as you guys know, there's levels to college football. So, you know, a Division I even has levels to it, right? Because we've got Division I like Power 5 style. You know, your Ohio State, your Indianas, your Cal Berkeleys, those are going to be on TV, big time ball. Then you've got a little bit lower than that where you're getting into your Mountain West. Then you've got Division I lower than that. You've got FCS. So Division I has levels, and we're going D2, D3, NAI, right? So when we looked at Bubba, we knew he had Division I size. We knew that right away, but then there's levels to Division I. So what level of Division I size does he have? Now we look at 6'3", 285, great size. Let's go to Cal Berkeley. Let's look at what some of the linemen are looking at. And once again, you guys, I'm taking you through the process that we go through as a company and the process that you need to go through, the kind of the step-by-step that you can take to the bank if you want to do this on your own, okay? So this is some of the linemen that you'll see on Cal Berkeley's active roster as we speak. So 6'8", 300, 6'5", 285, 6'4", 320. So you're kind of wanting to be right outside that 300 weight range or a little bit over it. You're pretty much good to go. A freshman, a younger person coming into the Pac-12. Where Bubba is maybe a little bit lower than these guys is maybe on the height because he's coming in more at a 6'3". Doesn't mean, you guys, doesn't mean that Bubba can't play at this level. Doesn't mean he wouldn't do well. But we want to keep these things in mind. I can go through this process. Coach Foss can go through this process a little bit easier because we do this on a day in, day out basis. But you guys would have to look up these rosters. You should do this as an exercise. Your position, the schools you want to go to, look up the roster and look at the sizes of the guys that play your position because it's going to give you some insight. So now we go to the FCS level. We go Division I still because we believe Bubba's got Division I talent, high D2 talent. But we're going to go a Division I lower because keep in mind, you guys, we want an athlete with our program. We want an athlete that goes to a school where he can play early. I've been in this game a very long time. The odds of success, the odds of a young man not going in the transfer portal, the odds of a young man being happy at a university is when they play earlier, okay? So we don't just want to put Bubba somewhere. We want to put him somewhere where he's wanted, where he's higher on their recruiting class board and where he's going to play early or have the chance to. So now we're looking at Eastern Washington, you guys, and here's some examples of some of the offensive linemen at their school. Now, where you see the 6'7", 296 kid, that's a kid that's probably a tackle. Bubba is a guard. You know, but you see 6'2", 300, 6'1", 289, 6'4", 289. You know, these are a little bit more in line with where we feel he's going to go. Now, this is Bubba's college prospects list. And what we do with before you go pro is whenever an athlete joins our program on the level that Bubba's on, we come up with a college prospects list. So we're evaluating the film, their grades, everything. So after evaluating Bubba's film, talking to the family and some of his wants and where he wants to be geographically and things like that, the level of ball that he wants to play at, and then his academic standing. This is what we came up with for Bubba's college prospects list. Now, what I'm doing for you guys is I'm taking you through our process, okay? Once again, if you're with us, this is what you go through. If you're not, you can do this on your own. But this is what it should look like. All right. So now with Bubba, this is his college prospects. Hold on here. My clicker's not working there. There we go. This is his college prospects page. And I want you guys to look at some of the schools on the right. So you see University of San Diego, you see Nevada, Reno, you see UNLV, you see a Utah Tech, a Western Illinois, and Adams State. So what we were talking about, right? These are schools that are at the Division I level, but maybe FCS or lower level FBS and high level D2 schools. Now, Bubba has some offers in his back pocket, but none at the D2 or D1 level yet. So all we want to do is get something in his back pocket and then work our way up from there. But this is where we're starting, right? So then check this out. Now, once again, we're in season. We're about to go in season. So we've got an out of season flow and then an in season flow. So check out some of Bubba's Twitter feed. Now, if you look at the camps he's going to, right here is UNLV. Remember, UNLV was on our list. If you look at this one, this is at Nevada, Reno. He's at Nevada, Reno. So all of the action he's doing in the off season is leading towards what? It's leading towards him being in front of the right schools, building relationships with these coaches. If there's one thing that I want you guys to get, and for some reason, I think this gets glossed over a lot with recruiting. But if this is one thing that I want you guys to get, is that some of you guys may get scholarship offers. Some of you guys may get full rides. A full ride today, you guys, is 6 figures. It's 6 figures for a high school kid. Nobody is going to give you 6 figures if they don't know you. If they don't know you, they don't know your family. It is very rare that you'll get 6 figures and they haven't built a relationship with you. So the things that we do in the off season, the things that you guys need to start doing immediately, if you don't have anything, and especially if you're not with us, is building that relationship. And it's like notches on a belt. You notching that baby all the way to the bag. Okay. So that's where we're at with this thing. And these are things that we're actively doing. So these are schools that we're actively talking to and approaching for Bubba. Now, the order of contact, once you guys get your college prospects list. So once again, we're starting with film. We're starting with your academics, all that, because what good is sending some film to Stanford or to Cal? You can't get into Stanford or Cal. What good is sending film to Vanderbilt? You can't get into Vanderbilt or Tennessee. Okay, you may like their uniforms, but that's not going to get you in. So all of these schools we know that Bubba can get into. We also know what? We know he can play early, possibly, at some of these schools, right? So we're already building a relationship, and this is the order of contact, you guys. So once establish the schools we want to start off with approaching, then there's an order that we start with as far as contacting them. So you guys have to do these things if you're not with us. The first thing you should do once you have the schools that you're going to approach, University of San Diego, Nevada, Reno, UNLV, Southern Utah, the first thing you want to do is your recruiting questionnaire. You want to do your recruiting questionnaire. You can find those on the team's website. You go to their official website, you may have to peruse around a little bit and poke around, but they're there. Back in my day, they would send them to your coach or send them to your house, and then you'd have to fill them out by hand, snail mail them back. For you guys, it's all digital, and it's right there. So that's where you should start, because you got to get in their database. They're going to ask you anyway if you already filled out a questionnaire. If you haven't, they're going to send you one. So that's where we start with all of our athletes. We also tell our athletes to start following some of their coaches on Twitter. Then we go with a follow-up email And then we're going with a follow-up phone call to make sure that this young man is in their recruiting database. We want them to tell us on the phone or through email or text DM, yeah, we got Bubba. He's in our database. He's ready to go. How do we know if he's in their database? Because we have relationships with the coaches. We have relationships with the coaches. When you've done this for 16 years, yourself helping other people, and then when you've played the game for over 20 years personally, you build relationships. And this is a relationship industry. You guys, this is no different than the music industry. This is no different than movies. And my athletes know because I talk to them like that. This is real deal entertainment industry, especially at this level, at the Division I level that most likely Bubba's going to play at, or the high D2 level. That they're going to give you some money at that level. Okay, so this is how we know he's in a database because we talk directly to the coaches. I've known Coach Nurse for years. This right here is us facilitating him going to their camp. Right here is his dad talking about, as you see at the bottom, Bubba has recently been followed by Sac State and UNR. UNR is Nevada Reno. Why are these schools following him? Because we're working a system. These are schools on his college prospects list. We're working a system. Okay, you guys? Now, once we start getting some juice, once again, you know, this is for the athlete that might not have anything yet. Maybe he's talking to somebody, but he doesn't have the official offer. Maybe he has offers, but they're lower level offers than his talent, like Bubba. So this right here is a snapshot of the league that Eastern Washington is in. Okay, so if we can get Eastern Washington to jump off the fence, you guys, and give Bubba an offer, give him a PWO, give him something, a partial, then we can get the other schools. We can leverage that against the other schools, right? Because nobody wants to date the solo cat. Nobody wants to dance with the solo cat. You know, he's got his boy back there filming them. Looks like they're on some ocean rig or something, but nobody wants to dance with him. But once you get one to dance with, you guys, then you can leverage that for the other ones. So if we get Eastern Washington, then guess what? We can get Montana. We can get Sac State. We can get UC Davis. They at least have to take a look at them, because if they don't take a look at them, they're going to have to play against them. So they're at least going to take a look at them, and we have relationships with these schools anyway. But this is how you should work it, even if you're on your own. Once you have the list of schools that you're going to approach, once again, that list is based off of my film, and it wasn't because my cousin watched my film and said that's a great catch. It's because somebody that knows what they're talking about watched my film. So once I got my film eval and I know the level of schools I can play at somewhat early, you may be able to go to Arizona State, but can you play early? You know, once I know the level of schools I can play early, and then once I know where I can get in academically, then I come up with my college prospects list, and then I start reaching out. And once again, you start with the recruiting questionnaire. Okay, you guys? So that is the deal. And that's how we're going to get down every Tuesday. Now, I'm going to be letting you guys know. That's why you want to keep tuning in. For one, to get some game for your particular position, you should be joining us too. If you're not with Before You Go Pro, because we got a family. This is my ministry, and everybody we work with is going to go off to college. But even if you're not with us, you guys, tune in every Thursday, because you guys taking a little time from the Fortnite or whatever game you're playing, taking a little time from your girlfriend might put some money in your pocket and make your parents proud. And there was nothing like the feeling I had, you guys, as a senior in high school, walking across that stage, grabbing my diploma, and knowing that I was headed to the University of Colorado. There was nothing like that feeling. I knew some of my classmates sitting over there didn't know where they were going or what was next. So put in the time now, every Tuesday with us, or join the family so that you can be like that and be like this dude and make sure and his friends happy, smiling, and going off to college. Okay, so every week we're going to tell you a little bit more game and talk to you about the process, things you need to be doing, and we're also going to be updating you on the progress of our athletes. Tonight, you guys met the great Bubba, but you guys will be meeting athletes that we're working with every single week. I'm going to talk to you about their individual situations because you guys should learn something. If you haven't already joined us, you guys can go to the Before You Go Pro section, our website. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the website, the link in here for you guys. But our website is Before You Go Pro. If you scroll down to the bottom and you hit sign up, if you're interested in signing up, you definitely can sign up with us, and we would love to help you out. I'm putting the link right there so you guys have it. I see the great Michelle saying, preach, Coach Wood. Yes, indeed. You know, this is my ministry. Super excited to work with Michael. And it's going to be one hell of a ride. So we're going to get after it, you guys. So if you haven't already, check out our website. We would love to work with you. Once again, there's an example of some of the kids we've worked with. These kids playing at D1 levels, D2, D3, NAI levels, HBCUs. We've got an amazing network of coaches, business professionals, and players that tap into our athletes. With our program, we're not burning bridges. I've been in this industry too long. I showed you at the beginning. I've got legacy in this industry. My grandfather's a Hall of Famer. So we reach out to people for our athletes that are beyond me, but that are family people to me. We're not burning any bridges. So we're very particular with who we let in the family, and we have to evaluate everybody who comes in. Once you check out our website, you guys can scroll down to the bottom and definitely enroll for our program. We only work with 100 to 120 athletes per year. One of the big things that we do is our college prospects page. So only 10 athletes at each position from across the country will be on this page. It will actually come out, the first edition of it, this week, probably this weekend. And Big Bubba will be on there, but only 10 athletes at each position. This is the page that goes to all of our recruiting contacts like Coach Cormier, and make sure that you guys get the exposure that you deserve. You will receive a professional film evaluation, membership portal access. We've got a library of great videos, content, PDFs, group coaching access, obviously the college prospects page that I just showed you, and an amazing football community. If you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do, because the Locker Room Show is every Thursday, and we bring in the best of the best from the industry. We've got another great show this week on Thursday. But all we want to do, you guys, is serve. All we want to do is serve, because there's way too many young athletes that deserve to go off and play college football that never get the chance. And what we're finding is that a lot of them are hanging it up. They're hanging it up. They're starting a job. They're going to a school and not playing ball when they have the ability to play ball. And if you're a student athlete, you guys, there's very few things you can do in this world. Hear me on this. If you guys, this just came to my head, so please hear me on this, because when things come to my head like that, that's somebody speaking through me. There are very few things in this world that will grant you the leverage that being a student athlete will. Now, I'm not the oldest dude in the world. I'm getting up there. Coach Wood's 45. But hey, not too many things that I've seen in my lifetime that have granted me the leverage that being a student athlete has granted me. I've been able to travel all over because I was a student athlete. I've been able to go to school debt-free because I was a student athlete. I met my wife, who is not that gorgeous, because I was a student athlete, kind of, so not too much. I've gotten investments from people that I wouldn't have met if I wasn't a student athlete at some point in time. So take it serious, baby, because once you get to college, then that means you're on a multi-million-dollar campus, maybe even a billion-dollar campus, depending on the school you go to. And that means that there's some very, very cool people that you're going to be sitting next to in class. They're going to do some very cool things in the future, and you're going to have a chance to ride along for that. Okay? So very, very much so. Take this serious. I want you guys to be like these guys, whether it's at the end. Some of you guys, man, the early signing period is in 4.5 months. The regular signing period is in another 6 months, 7 months. So for some of you class of 2024 kids, you're going to know where you're going or not going pretty soon here. So be proactive. There's still plenty of time, but that's why we wanted to start this so you guys could be proactive. So once again, we're going to be doing this every Tuesday through the football season, through the regular signing period. Okay, the recruiting live show, we're going to go until February, that regular signing period. Then Coach Wood's going to take a break. But hopefully at the end of that, all of you guys got scholarship offers, or maybe if you're a younger athlete, you're well on your way to being on track. But every week, you guys come here. We're going to give you some game that you can utilize, practical game to get to the next level. And then once again, revisit the content. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we do a bunch of great other stuff. And please tell your teammates, your parents, your coaches about before you go pro, because we want to serve you guys. Now, does anybody we're coming back next Tuesday, and you feel free to email us too if you guys have questions or something that you think of after the show. But does anybody have any comments, any questions, any concerns about their recruiting situation? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. Our comment section is open. I also put the link for our recruiting service, our program, if you guys are interested in more support. It's also in the comment section. But does anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns? This is the beginning of the football season. And part of the reason, I see something coming in right now, part of the reason why we wanted to start this now, you guys, is because a lot of times coach he doesn't have time, and you don't have time, and your parents are working. Nobody has time to get after this in the manner that you need to get after this. Think about it. If I'm a high school quarterback, Chris McFoley, I don't know if he's watching, he's probably going to watch the recording out of Florida. Love you, brother. If I'm a high school quarterback like Chris, then let's say I want to play in the ACC. Let's say I want to play in the SEC. Most teams are only going to take one quarterback, maybe two. And if they take two, then they're both not going to be high school kids. One of them's going to be out of the portal, if not both of them. So you're not really talking about that many opportunities, you guys. The Pac-12, you're talking about 12 high school quarterbacks that will have the opportunity to get a full ride to the Pac-12. They're going to offer maybe more, but only 12 are going to actually get the spot. So you're talking about being one of 12 people throughout the whole country. Running backs, the same thing. They're only going to take one running back, maybe two, and they're both not going to be high school kids. Now, wide receiver, DB, O-line, you get into some more numbers there. But you guys, this isn't, especially, hear me on this, especially if you've got Division I talent. Especially if you've got Division I talent or high D2 talent, do not waste your time. If you don't have any exposure right now, or you don't have any offers in your back pocket, you need to join our program, or you need to get proactive on your own. Be with us every single Tuesday so you can get proactive on your own. You can do this on your own. You just got to put in the hours and the work. Okay. So love to help you guys out. And hopefully you guys are getting some good stuff. Chris, we see you. You say, great, awesome content. Coach Wood, that is Bubba's father. They're with us. So his dad knows that he can call me anytime. He knows his son can call me anytime. He knows he's got a family centered around him, and he knows that we're putting in the work to get his boy to one of those schools. And then the good thing about it is we stay with our athletes too. At a certain level of service, we stay with our athletes. Michelle says, can you explain some of the acronyms for these divisions and conferences? Yes, indeed. So Michelle is one of our athletes' parents, and fine superstar young man coming out of San Francisco, D lineman Michael Zapata. But she played Division I ball too. And, I did too, but we played back in the day a little bit. So the acronyms are a little bit different. So let me give them to you because that's a great question. When I played football at the University of Colorado, that's the highest level of college sports that you can play, still is today. They're in the Pac-12. They're moving to the Big 12. When I played in the late 90s, early 2000s in Colorado, we were already in the Big 12. So I was used to playing Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas. At the time, Nebraska was in the Big 12. Those were the schools that I was used to playing. That level, when I was playing, was called Division 1A. Division 1A, the highest level of college sports. Nowadays, Michelle, and for everybody else, Division 1A is called FBS, football, or it's the bowl subdivision. It's the schools that have bowl games. So the highest level of football is FBS. And then under that, still Division 1, but under that is FCS, the championship level. So they have playoffs at that level. So when I was playing, the highest level was Division 1A. The level right below that was still Division 1, but it was a level below that, your Sacramento States, your Eastern Washingtons, your Northern Arizonas. Let me think of some schools for my kids in the South and the East. Schools like Lamar University in Texas. Sam Houston used to be one. Now they're going to the FBS level, but they used to be FCS. Let me think of down south, a school like Morehead State, Western Illinois. Down south, a school like Jacksonville, who used to be around. Those are schools that are FCS, Michelle. So that's Division 1 AA to you and I. Division 1A, highest level. Division 1 AA, still Division 1, but a little bit lower. Today, that's FBS, FCS. And then D2, D3, NAIA is the same deal as it's always been. Some of you guys don't know about NAIA. I suggest that you find out about it. A lot of times there's a lot more money in the NAIA than some of the Division III schools in the NCAA. And then competition-wise, it's very comparable to D2 in the NCAA. We'll get more in the NAIA later. I don't want to keep you guys too long tonight, but we'll get more into all of this later. Does anybody have any last questions before we go live? And then once again, if you're happen to watching the recording of this, the evergreen version, then please reach out to us at info@beforeyougopro.com or Terrence, TERRENCE @beforeyougopro.com. All of our social media links. We're on Instagram, Facebook, obviously YouTube. We're on Twitter. Everything is @beforeyougopro. So we would love for you guys to reach out to us if you have any questions. Please tell your friends. Please tell your teammates, because this is all we do, and we're very, very serious about seeing our young men win. Okay, so unless anybody has any other comments, questions, or concerns, that will be it for tonight. And then once again, we will be back live every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We want to work with you guys through your recruiting situations. Okay, we want to send more young men off to college than we ever have this year, and we will. So rock with us on Tuesdays, and look forward to meeting you guys and sharing some more great information with you guys. So unless anybody has any last second questions, we are going to get out of here, and we hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.